Valheim, all the news and none of the fluff. Let's go! Spoiler, spoiler! Lots of big spoilers today. If you don't want to see them, click away. We start with the latest development blog from Irongate. Fearsome Foes. Here's a closer look at some of the skellies that we're going to be facing in the Ashlands that are actually called the Charred. I'm not going to go over every single detail in here, but I'm going to hit the highlights and I'll leave the links below if you want to look at the details specifically. First things first, they're still working on issues for Xbox players, and that is outsourced, so it's not slowing them down. But for the fun stuff, they start with talking about how they had mentioned Fortress Time that's going to be coming up in the Ashlands. And here are some of the Fortress concepts we've seen from Mr. Grimcore. As they're continuing to make good progress on the Ashlands with art and mechanics, here's a siege weapon that's in the works. It started as a mess of pieces, but we now know better what it looks like, and we know that this is actually a battering ram. We also know from Grimcore that the cart is Viking powered, so it will not be pulled by an animal. Don't get those hopes up. But what is on top of this cart is powered by probably coal, and he says it moves better than the cart. I'm guessing it's more stable. Would make sense since it's definitely bigger than the cart. And it punches really hard. You can mine with it, but it's difficult. I'm thinking that's really not its intended purpose. Another siege weapon we've gotten a little sneak peek on is the catapult, shown here by Jonathan Smars, giving it a sample, putting in place item, and it throws out a stone. I don't know if it's going to stick with the stone. Obviously, the stone is eventually going to be able to be thrown farther than just falling right in front of it. But he's testing it. I wonder what I will be able to throw at people. I want to be able to chuck people. That would be so amazing. Like, throw people over the walls. Imagine the games we could come up if we can actually throw people on this. Come on. I'll definitely be trying that out in Ravenheim with my fellow content creators. Of course, there are always some problems when you're testing things, and I did try to throw wood, and it turned into a wood spawner. I mean, I'm okay with a wood spawner. Guess that means we'll be able to throw more things than stone? And look at all of these sitting around in the background. There doesn't seem to be a limit on how many you can build for sure. They say, of course, it won't be just the fortresses themselves that are challenging, but also the creatures who guard them, and they've shown us some previews of the Charred before, as well as some images of the Fallen Valkyrie. I found it interesting that they called this the Fallen Valkyrie. We haven't really heard that term before, I don't think. Although Grim has said that here's a hint at the size reference. That's who flies us in at the beginning of the game. And so that's how big these suckers are going to be. And look at what they're looking like now. Yeah, that's terrifying. Seriously. That's the stuff of nightmares. Grim had told me a long time ago in one of our Playing with a Dev episodes that there were going to be some more flying mobs that could do some serious damage. Of course, we had the new mobs come in the Mistlands, but this thing... Can you imagine a giant one of these swooping down and flying and chasing you? I wonder if they can pick you up. Get another closer up look at the Charred here as well, holding their rusty weapons. Remember, these things are going to be a lot bigger than skeletons too. This is the size reference that we saw of a player against a Charred. There are going to be some big mobs in the Ashlands. Because look, we also had this reference of a Morgan in the background for these stone pieces. Keep in mind, this is a work in progress. The other reference we'd seen for a Morgan is quite different than that image. Maybe there will be multiple types. Though it won't be guarding the fortresses, we also get a new look at what the bone maw serpent is looking like. From this original concept art to now how it can be hiding in the waters. The colors kind of blend in. Might be a little bit harder to see when we're trying to approach the Ashlands. But if that's not scary enough, then we get this image from Irongate 3 artist Lisa Kolf. Still a work in progress, but oh my god, that is terrifying. It's kind of like the dead skeleton of a sea serpent. Is it just me, or does the mouth look bigger? That's terrifying. And all the stringy, seaweedy stuff in the mouth. I wonder how hard it's going to be to get past these suckers to get to the actual Ashlands. They're also working on what all the Ashlands mobs drops will be, and then later, of course, what those drops will be used for, as the Deep North will be the next biome after the Ashlands. When it comes to Hildr's Quest, things are really falling into place. That's exciting. And some big news here, there will be mini bosses. Yay. They've been teasing mini bosses at some point. People have been asking for them. New clothing, which they give us another sneak peek of some styles here. Although they say that all the clothes will not be so easy to get, which makes me think, again, is it just to look different, or are these going to have some functionality? Also, look at that chest in the background. We don't have that chest. Are we going to get that chest? Of course, in addition to the clothes, we're going to be getting the barber station, and they have changed the chair. Listen to our feedback. Doesn't look like an office chair anymore. Looks like it's a Viking chair that matches. They mentioned the customizations that are going to be coming, being able to do modes, all different types of world modifiers. Easy mode, creative mode, hardcore, super hardcore. Here this Grey Dwarf kills this guy and his grave completely disappears. No, go back and get your grave and you can have your skills completely disappear. So it's kind of like a permadeath run you can do, or you can do just total building playthrough if you want, where the creatures are passive. They only attack you if you attack them first. You can have raids, you can have no raids. You can increase or decrease your death penalty, all kinds of stuff. I'll put the link to this if you want to look at it closer. Some more details have emerged. Yes, these settings can be adjusted on your existing worlds, and it is set per world for all players and can be changed. They're hoping to bring Hildr's Quest out to the public test branch and flight in the next month or two. How long it'll be in test branch, of course, we don't know till we get there and see how many bugs there are. Some random tidbits that I've picked up here and there too. For you Xbox players, they are planning on one day supporting mouse and keyboard for the Xbox. And they plan to release all the updates on Xbox and PC at the same time because they don't want to break crossplay. Everybody appreciates that. They are indeed looking at adding achievements to the game eventually. And when it does come, they will definitely be split by difficulty level, since now we're going to have different modes that we can play in. Exciting about the build of the month. This build is by my close friend Verso, a fellow Raven in Ravenheim, which is our content creators playthrough, not your normal playthrough. Congratulations, Versailles. This is V's second time being featured by Iron Gate, and it is well deserved. He is one of the best and most well-known builders in Valheim and does excellent tutorials. Is an amazing guy, even though he doesn't wear pants. Just saying.
But instead, we decided to write our own story.
Ah, what are you doing? No! What are you doing? Ah! Go this.
Standing on my bed with your dirty boots.
Yeah, well, you got in my way, so this is your punishment.
He's going for you!
Oh
no! So many!
So
Oh my god!
Dude, what's going on?
What in the game?
It's a disaster.
That's a real jerk face. No.
I'm stuck in the hole.
No, you never retreat.
Should have retreated, Smitty.
Wow, no! I died! You are being hunted! Oh no!
Ah, mistakes were made. No!
You shall pay.